So it makes a big difference really to us how we relate to the present moment. These words, openness, friendliness, also words like gentleness and owning our warriorship, all of these words really point to the fact that they're not just empty words. They really point to the fact that how we regard the moments and every thing that happens to us in our life, how we regard that is actually creating our future. And in the sense of how we will relate to our future. How we relate to this moment is sowing the seeds of how we'll relate to not just the next moment, but the next day, the next week, month, year, all the years of our lives. It keeps, we keep, by how we think, speak, and act, we are creating our own possibilities for opening, or we are strengthening, further strengthening pre-existing propensities, pre-existing habits, pre-existing fears, pre-existing prejudices. We can make them stronger and stronger and stronger. And I always say this in talks in the last, since I turned 70, I think. I've been saying it over and over, but it doesn't get any easier as you get older. I am a firm believer that you can teach an old dog new tricks. However, the reason I believe that that expression came to be as a truism is because one's the kind of vehicle called our body starts to kind of fall apart, just like cars do when they're 70 years old, for God's sake. So that process of falling apart, which can be such a support, actually, for staying in the middle, also can bring up a lot of insecurity and fear because you're not so comfortable. You have indigestion, you have all kinds of joint pain and back pain and knee pain and things that are uncomfortable physically, and then mentally, maybe you're not remembering so well. What was it I just said? Remember, you're not remembering so well, and etc. And so this is why elderly people, get very fixed. We get very fixed in our ways. We don't want our lamp moved 2 inches to the right, because somehow the position of that lamp represents certainty, safety, and security. I mean, it gets pretty petty, but it's the same thing that everyone's dealing with, whether you're a teenager or in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, however old you are. You're still already having a lot of experience with avoiding insecurity, avoiding uncertainty, avoiding discomfort in any form. And I think both Meg and I are trying to encourage that we could make friends with the whole picture, that we could open to the pleasant and unpleasant, salty and sweet, rough and smooth, as part of the natural fabric of life.